How you doing, YouTube world? It's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee. And first off, your boy got a haircut. Oh, look at the cut, fresh cut. Shout out to the Puerto Rican peoples over there next to Kennedy's on Broadway. They hooked my boy up. Oh God, I could talk about my hair all day, but we can't talk about my hair because we got stuff to talk about, guys. It's time for Raw review. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for the subscribers that I got and people who've been watching. I do appreciate that. Let's grow the channel and let's get into Raw. So normally I watch Raw like through and through, but I had to work today, so they called me in. Somebody was supposed to come into work, but she's not coming back till next month. So they called me in, and so I came back and I watched a little bit of Raw. I watched some highlights and stuff like that. So we're gonna probably do the sort of the version that we do on SmackDown. But I did watch enough Raw to know what happened. So first we're gonna talk about Drew McIntyre. He opened up the show. He had his little promo thing going on. But it was weird because as he was trying to do his promo, the lights were going out, the flickering, and it was showing a whole bunch of weird stuff, and it was like, what in the world is going on? Light flicker. Oh my God, it's Retribution. Retribution is destroying the production stage in the back, and I guess they were taking over Raw, whatever. They broke like two computers or whatever like that, and it goes to commercial. Come back from commercial, and Drew McIntyre is doing his. Oh, you of course, but you also know handy dandy notebook. Took the handy dandy notebooks notes today. But anyways, Drew McIntyre was doing his his Big E impression. Last week, Big E after Retribution came and attacked him, he did his big speech like, "This is our house. We can't let Retribution take out our house and stuff like that." So Drew McIntyre pretty much did the same exact thing. He said, "This is our house. We can't let him do that." And of course, the Baron Corbin and Sheamus of the Big E world from SmackDown this week is Seth Rollins. He said, "Yeah, you might be champion, but you're not the leader. I'm the leader. People should follow me. You better worry about Randy Orton instead of me, or you can, or that title is going to be gone at SummerSlam." And then Drew was like, "Oh yeah, I know what you want. You want me to knock your teeth down your throat again, like I did before." And Murphy tried to get in front of him. He was like, you better back up before I beat you up too. And then all of the people try to evade him, and pretty much Cedric and Ricochet was teasing Seth Rollins was like, "Hey, by the way, little birdie told me that Rey Mysterio is going to be here." And then Seth was like, Rey Mysterio is going to be here, you silly person. I knocked his eye out. He can't be here. Rey, Rey Mysterio's not going to. No, you can't. No, Rey Mysterio. And then he leaves and stuff like that. All right, so first things first, Hurt Business come out. Well, not first things first. So after that, Hurt Business come out. MVP's pretty much talking about how uh, Apollo cheated. He thinks that Apollo's part of the Hurt Business. He's a part of the Retribution. Say it every time that his matches come on. Retribution's the lights flicker and it distracts him. Is why he has his title or whatever like that. And Apollo comes out and he was like, "Bro, this again? Like you keep saying the same thing. Like I have nothing to do with Retribution. You're just mad because I keep beating you for this beautiful championship around my shoulder." He was like, "We want to make sure that nobody's there. How about you? I face Benjamin. If I win, then those two, Shelton Benjamin and Lashley, are not at ringside for our match." So he agrees, and he pretty much is talking trash to him, and he told Bobby and Benjamin to get him. He evades them, and then they go in the ring. Sean Benjamin is in control a little bit. It's a little back and forth. It's pretty decent. R-Truth comes running around the ring, getting chased by the ninjas, and Kira Tozawa. He goes in the back. Well, he goes to the ramp, distracts Benjamin, hits him with the I think he rolls him up actually. Does he roll him up? Yeah, he rolls him up. He hits him with a jackknife. It was like a jackknife pin roll, and he wins, and he goes to the back, kind of. I think Lashley puts him like has him in like a full Nelson, or tries to beat him up with a full Nelson, and then Ricochet, Alexander, and Mustafa come out to help him. Um, I think he puts Cedric in a full Nelson for a long time, and then everybody jumps him. Like Mustafa Ali is jumping on him. Ricochet is like kicking him in the face while Apollo's also holding him down. And then our truth like runs towards the back, and I think like uh, 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 John Benjamin like kicks him straight in the face, and then pins him 1, 2, 3. He's 24/7 champion again. MVP is like, yo, I'm tired of this crap. And like, how about the three of us, Hurt Business, versus Apollo and two other people, and we can have a 3-on-3, a 6-man tag and stuff like that. Pretty much. So good stuff. I like that they're, even though it's all one knit, 24/7 United States Championship thing. I like that they're using the brothers in this situation, and Ali. Ali's a brother too. They're using them. They're using them in the matches, and they're being used more on TV. So we like those. We take all of those. So next up is Garza's flirting with Demi, the girl from Black Bachelor. She's flirting with her. Ivar comes in and he gives her a turkey leg. I think they try to. Garza slaps it out his hand. They do a with the force thing with the turkey leg, but it's really badly done. I think somebody just hands it to him or tosses it to him, and I guess they're having a match or whatever like that. So Ivar was in complete control during the whole match, and then Angel hit him with a kick, and then a basement drop kick for the win. Then Dawkins and that girl is in the backstage. Dawkins was talking about what his mom used to tell him about knowing who people are, about knowing who people are, um who they hang out with. So like if I hang out with somebody, he knows the type of people I am or something like that. So he was saying that about Garza, and he was saying that him and Garza are friends. Like him and Ivar are friends. So the girl that he had the girl's back. He told her to get her number because he had something to show everybody or something weird like that. And I didn't really know what he was talking about. And then Joe was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Retribution, when they was messing with the monitors or whatever, they were digging up some stuff. They were like trying to get some stuff updated or try to get software back. And while I was roaming through it, they was seeing something, and they pretty much saw something that might have interest Dawkins. And I guess Joe knows everything. Joe's the hookup for everything. So of course Joe knows. He was telling them that it'll be good, and he thinks that they'll be interested in knowing. Comes back from commercial, and Angel Garza's is like, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?" Dawkins is like, "Hey, I just want her to show this picture. I was just showing her just about to show this picture or something like that." And Zelina and Andrade come in and they were like, "Hey, whoa, you don't need to show nobody nothing." Charlie Caruso comes in and is like, "Hey, what is this that we're gonna show people?" It's like, "Oh, we're gonna show you right now." And then Zelina was like, "Hey, ain't gotta show nobody." And then they show him, and it's a pretty much a video where Zelina's back is turned and she's just doing something, and she walks away. Like she stands there for a second and then she walks away. And then as she walks away, it's Ford's like his crown and his cup. So it seemed that she is the one who poisoned Montez Ford. And then everybody's looking at Zelina like, did you really just do what I think you just did? And Angelo Dawkins is not a happy person. He's looking at him like the whole time. She's just like, and then Andrade and Garza was like, "You put the stuff." Selena was like, "Oh no, this is not what it looks like. It's doctored footage, you know." And it was like, he's blaming Charlie Caruso. Caruso was like, "I ain't do nothing." He was like, "You're jealous that that Angel Garza likes her better, the Bachelor girl better. She's an upgrade than you are. Which, by the way, she's been on TV for like 3 weeks. Is she like gonna be doing something? Is she gonna be a wrestler or something? That girl from Bachelor's been on for like 3 weeks now. But a dog is at the end of who's like, hey, it's like I said, you mess with I say fam a lot, but Montez is literally family to me, and like we always say, we want the smoke. Q Ford like springing in out of nowhere, and they start beating them up, and they run away. So segment was cool, I guess. I really wish that I still wish that it wasn't Zelina and them. I wish it was like she was telling her, she was like, no, it's not me, I didn't do it. And then here comes out comes, SummerSlam comes, and then Andrade and Garza win, and somebody else like distracts them. Maybe it's like somebody from Retribution. Maybe it's like Ivar and Eric, or maybe some new team come and maybe they poison him instead, and it cost them the titles. It's like, hey, this is why we poisoned you. Started a new feud and stuff like that. But it didn't work out like that, and Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins are definitely retaining the titles at some point. Anyways, next up is Mickey James versus Natalia, which wasn't even really a match. They were wrestling, I think. Seth Rollins comes down with Murphy. He gets all up in Joe's face. Joe's cool as a cucumber. And then Seth Rollins tried to get hostile on him, and he was just like, just tell me how you know, what sources did you know that Rey Mysterio was going to be here? That's all I want to know. How do you know? And Samoa Joe's like, you wouldn't want to know how I know, but guess what? I ain't telling you. None of your beeswax. And then while that's happening, I think Natalia like kicked Mickey James off the top turnbuckle. She fell on the floor, and it was like the slowest 10 count of all time, and somehow Mickey James still didn't even get up. It was like New Japan 20 count, like you had a 20 count, and like Mickey James still getting to get up, and she was like, ah, darn rats, I didn't win. I think she kicked Lana at the end, and then she left. Natalia wins. Okay. Seth Rollins goes in the ring. He was like, I dare I dare them to come out. Rey Mysterio and Dominic. If they do, it will be their abs, and they won't even make it to SummerSlam. Pretty much. Also, I mean, the match was not a match. It was non-existent. It was just a segment for Seth Rollins to come out and say that to Rey Mysterio. Good stuff. Next, Sasha and Bailey is coming up, and they're going to be facing Asuka and Shayna. Bailey said, comes out, she grabs the mic, and she was saying how she's gonna soften up Oscar for for Sasha. She's gonna go in a match first, which means she's gonna beat her up, and then she's gonna tire her for Sasha to easily, just like that, put her in the bank statement, and they both walk out with the championship. And then she was saying how then after that, next week or the following week at Payback, that they're gonna face a tag team for the tag team title. She was like, "Oh, who we gotta face?" He was like, "We've beaten everybody. We've beaten the Iconics. We've beaten Nikki and what's her face, Nikki and Alexa." He was like, "Ruby and Liv, maybe." And then she was like, "Asuka and." No tag team partner for her because we beat her up, and then boom, then my girl Shayna Baszler come out, or she does this right? She does that. She comes out. She was like, "Hey, I don't care who wins on Sunday at SummerSlam. I face winner. Who's gonna be Raw Women's Champion? I face that winner." And then Asuka comes out, and she was like, "Tonight, me and you gonna team up to beat them. But after I beat uh, Sasha, we are going to face each other later down the line." Pretty much. I was just paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what she was saying. The match was good. This is probably the best match of the night. Like anything that does with the women, like Shayna and Asuka and Bailey and Banks, like everything that's been happening with them on Raw and SmackDown, was pretty much been the best thing on the show. Um, Shayna gets knocked out early, and then she goes to like she's like at the barricade, and then out of nowhere, like Nia Jax comes, like punches the plexiglass, and she she jumps over the barricade, and my boy Pat Buck is there. Like he's on the job. It's like every time, every time she's Nia Jax is there, Pat Buck is on the job. It's like it's one job now. It's like to make sure that Nia Jax is nowhere near anywhere, which is kind of funny. They brawl. Um, they go to before they go to commercial. Asuka does a double hip attack on them. Come back from commercial. Shayna Baszler's still not there, but she's coming to save Asuka as Asuka's in a bank statement. She tags herself in. They brawl. Um, they do a nice double team. It's a backstabber into the Bailey to belly, which is a good, nice two. Shayna hits Bailey with the gut wrench power bomb slam thing. She goes into a knee, followed by the clutch. Uh, Sasha gets in and she breaks it up. Asuka like knocks her out the ring, pops her in an Asuka lock. Bailey goes for the rose plant. Shayna reverses it, hits a cure for the clutch, taps her out. That's what we like to see. But that's good stuff. Shayna Baszler's become the badass that she is supposed to be. I don't know why it's taken her this long, even though she should have been like that since the Royal Rumble. But I guess better late than never, right? Next up, Apollo and his super friends are backstage. Cruz says that for the six-man tag, he said he's going to be in it because he's champion. And he says Ricochet and Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Ali. And then Cedric's like, bruh, hi, Cedric Alexander here, former Cruiserweight champion. I let your boy. Like, why not me? And Apollo pretty much was like, hey, I would love to, but, you know, Bobby Lashley got you in that full Nelson. I know it hurts. You know, took me out for a month, so you know, you sit over there and we got this pretty much. And then Randy Orton shows up for no reason. Um, Drew and HBK does a segment. HBK was pretty much first. Drew was just pretty much talk about, hey, I feel like I let you down and all that other stuff. I couldn't protect the wreck or whatever. And HBK is like, hey, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. Uh, Randy's just, you know, he's on a different level. Uh, you know, when you came back from NXT, you know, I told you like he was like this killer machine. I told you always that he was gonna be champion. Even when you like messed up your bicep, it was like you could have sat down and rest, but you didn't. You you came, you still grinded, you watched tape with me and all that stuff. So he said, I need you to focus on being champion. Don't get frustrated because that's what Orton wants. And then later on, HBK is going to go in the ring. He's going to call out Randy Orton. Randy Orton is going to beat me up. He's going to hit me with the RKO. He's going to kick me dead in my face. And I don't want you to be there. I want you to let me handle this like a man. Paraphrasing. Um, and then Liv and Ruby are backstage, and then the Iconics come out. They talk trash. They're supposed to have a match between Ruby and Billy, but you know Billy's shoulders messed up, so she's like, "Hey Peyton, can you take this one?" She was like, "Yeah, yay!" And I think Peyton called Liv Morgan trash, which was hilarious. Um, Shayna Shayna is also backstage in her gangster uniform with Marita Shafir and Jessamine Duke, and they're getting ready for Raw Underground, which is good stuff. We like all those. Ruby and Peyton Ruby was in control. Billy tries to interfere. Liv ain't having it. They go out to the outside. Um, Billy's pretty much distracting them both while Peyton Royce comes behind her. She pushes Ruby into Liv Morgan. Liv falls. Peyton throws her Ruby in the ring. It's the beautiful deja vu that we all like to see 2 times in a row. We've seen it 3 times. We just like all those. 1, 2, 3. That finish is great. Um, So after that, I'm just going to talk about Raw Underground. So there's 3 different segments. We're just going to talk about it all right now. First section is Eric is murdering everybody. Some poor soul. He was just like kneeing him dead in the face. It looked really good. Shane and Dolph are talking on the side while he's doing that. Shane was like, "Hey, what would you give that match that Eric just did?" And Dolph was like, "Yeah, it's all right. You know, he gave it a four out of 10. Not bad. He gave him the Bret Hart 4 out of 10, and and then Shane was like, "Oh, 4 out of 10." He was like, Me personally, I give it a little higher than 4 out of 10, but like, hey, Eric, Dolph gave your match a 4 out of 10." Eric was like, "Oh, you want some of this? Bring it on, Dwayne the Rock Johnson style." And so Dolph goes in there. They do some nice slams, some good knee strikes, some good submission moves. It looked really nice in there on there. And then at the end, Dolph thumped EI, knocks him out, passes him out. Dolph Ziggler wins, which was pretty decent stuff. And then Ivar pounces Dolph Ziggler into the crowd, out the ring, into a whole bunch of people. That was great stuff. Right then it was Riddick Moss versus Arturo Horus. They was really throwing in some nasty kicks and some slams and a lot of good stuff in there. I didn't like this part. They get out the ring and some guy gets in like one of their faces and he like punches him dead in the face, and then Riddick Moss punches the other guy in the face, and then Shane McMahon just stops the match. It's like, isn't this supposed to be Raw Underground? Isn't there supposed to be no rules? How are you just stopping the match like that? The stuff they were doing was really good, but at the end it was like that made no sense. And then Marina Shafir had a match. She was beating up. She was just ragdolling this one girl. She hit her with some triangle ankle lock type submission. It looked really good. I liked all of that. She wins, and then Nia comes from behind. She like kicks Marina Shafir. Jessamine Duke tried to come in. Nia Jax like knees her dead in the face, and then oh, and Shayna gets mad. She takes off her thing. She gets in there. It looks like they're about to fight. And then Shayna was like, "Oh, they're about to fight. All right, let's go. Ring the bell." And it rings it. And then Nia Jax just runs away. And I was like, darn it. So that would be good stuff if they were to do something with like Shayna being like Raw Women's Champion, or feuding for the Raw Women's Championship, but also getting in with Raw Underground with Nia Jax. Oh, that would be good stuff. We like all of those. Ray and Dom are now out in the ring. Ray said that he isn't medically cleared, but he'll still be at SummerSlam to watch his son Dominic kick Seth Rollins' butt. He said ass, but butt cheeks. Dom was saying thank you, and then he said he knows what he got himself into. He's the one that signed the contract, so he said at SummerSlam he's going to beat up Seth. Seth got on a Tron. He was saying that Ray is selfish. He's saying that he doesn't care about anybody, only cares about himself. He was talking about his legacy or whatever like that. He's gonna beat it. He's gonna take out his legacy when he beats Dom. Um, Ray was like, "Hey, you talking all that mess? How about you just come out here?" And then Seth was like, all right." He was like, "Well, Ray, you got one eye. Your little boy over there is beat up. So, all right." Comes down to the ring. Rey Mysterio's like, oh no, he was serious. He's really coming down here. So he lures Seth and Buddy out. He goes out there, and Seth was like, oh yeah, oh you scared now? Down comes from behind, kendo sticks, beating everybody with kendo sticks. Seth gets kendo stick. He gives the kendo stick to Ray, and then they start beating Murphy and Seth with kendo sticks. So it was all great stuff. We loved all MVP is back talking with Cedric Alexander. He's talking about how Apollo didn't choose Cedric. That if he was part of his team, he'd be a star, and he'd choose him, whatever like that. Cedric's like, "Bro, I know what you're trying to do. Hey, they just have my back because of what Lashley did." And we said maybe after all of that, maybe after that full Nelson that my guy gave you, maybe they think that you're the weak link. He said the offer's still on the table for him to join the Hurt Business, which he might. So then her business come out. They're facing against Apollo and friends. Bobby runs through Ali, knocks out Apollo and Ricochet, picks up Ali for the Terminator for the three. Benjamin gets tagged in. He has paid dirt on Ricochet for the three. So those were two quick, like 5 minute things, two quick of those. And then before the commercial, Apollo hits Shelton Benjamin with his power bomb thing for the three. And then when he comes out the ring, Cedric Alexander rolls up Sean Benjamin for another three. So he's new 24/7 champion. Then after commercial, Apollo does another power bomb on MVP. Lashley and Cruz go back and forth. Lashley gets hit with a standing moonsault for two by Apollo. Lashley goes for his full Nelson, but instead he hits a spear for three. So this match was nothing. Like it could have been good. Again, like I said, at least they're being used on TV. We take those. Then after that, Cedric versus Tozawa. MVP is watching it back. The ninjas sort of almost try to get involved, but they don't. Cedric takes all of them out. Lumbar check. Cedric wins. Then after that, pay dirt from Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin again, 24/7 champion for like the third time, I think. Montez Ford versus Andrade comes as next. It's pretty quick, but it's pretty good stuff. Andre does a lot of nice chops. Ford is flying over the place like he's on cocaine now. Like first he was on the poison. Now he feels like he's all like on cane. He's like jumping all over things and he's hopping on people. Zelina tries to distract them, but Bianca comes out to stop her. She tries to like jump and like does like a fun splash, but Bianca catches her, slams her on the floor. Ford rolls up Andrade for the three. And this final promo, HBK, Heartbreak Kid, Sexy Boy, Mr. NXT Jr. comes out. He talks about Ric Flair being the greatest of all time. He said if it wasn't for Rick, guys like Shawn, HBK, Big Show, Edge, Christian, and Randy Orton wouldn't even be there. He was saying the thing that Randy Orton did to Rick was unthinkable, especially since he's been his mentor from the beginning. He was like, I don't care about all that. All I know is whether it's a Sweet Chin Music or it's a Claymore or Randy Orton, you're gonna see it coming. And he's about to he's about to leave the ring. Randy Orton, boom, RKO, and then boom, punt kick. I was like, damn, that was quick. He was like, he turned around, RKO, jacket, boom, punt kick. I was like, oh shoot. Drew McIntyre comes out, they brawl, throws him out the ring, slams him to plexiglass, throws him over the announce table, asks him if he's okay. Well, first he asks him if he's okay, and then Randy Orton tries to jump him from behind, and then Drew beats him up, and then he throws him plexiglass and over announce table. Then he asks him if he's okay again, asks for more help, like medical help, and then Randy Orton slithers back in. Hey Drew, boom, RKO, and then he stares at HBK, who's like holding his neck a little bit, but he's like completely no sold the punt kicker. Like normally people like who kick punt kick, they're like laid out, but he like low key no sold that punt kick because he's up on his head. He's looking at him. It's like my neck hurts a little bit, but I'm HBK, so I no sold that. Like it was 1997. But that ends Raw. So I'm gonna give Raw a B minus from what I watched. It was a lot of like it was pretty much a lot of stuff getting ready for SummerSlam. Wasn't a lot of good matches. There was like the tag team, like the whole Bailey, Golden Role Models, Asuka, Shayna stuff. That was all good stuff. Raw Underground, besides that one section part, was good stuff. Um, the ending was pretty good. Hey, the United States Championships 24/7 stuff. They're getting a little creative. They're doing some stuff with that. That's all good stuff. So Raw, pretty much, besides the one little mishap from Raw Underground and Retribution doing whatever they did, I thought Raw was pretty good. The matches could have been a little bit better. They weren't horrible, but they were just like a lot. A lot of them were really like short, and that 6-man tag could have been way better than it was. But it was just like super quick, boom, boom, dominator, boom, pay dirt, and then two of them were already out. I think they could have did better with that, or they could have just did like instead of the one Apollo match, they could have just did a 6-man tag match from the jump, and they could have made it a little longer. But that's my opinion. What did you guys think? Let me know. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.